Good afternoon on what is a bright but slightly chilly day. It is Tuesday the 4th of January. I'm back in the Nook with some parcels and of course a nice hot cup of tea. And the first one I'm going to delve into is one I've already opened. And the first thing I pulled out of this was the Sword Sorcery from Stellagama Publishing. And that essentially is the 2d6 system, which is what, based on the Traveller rules, turned into a fantasy role-playing game. So think of it as sort of like Fantasy Traveller, if you will. But there are several supplements for it, and one of those which I picked up was this, which is Barbaric. So, barbarians, civilized men huddled behind tall stone walls, trembling at the thought. The soldiers of civilization tighten their shield walls against the oncoming onslaught. And then they come, savage men and women, screaming at the tops of their lungs, oblivious to fear, frothing at the mouth from rage and lust for war. Wave after wave, they storm shields and fortifications. Many die, the pagan gods bless their souls, but eventually mail and castle fall. Then the flames of barbarianism will sweep the land, leaving no stone unturned. Sword and Sorcery tales speak of cunning thieves, powerful hungry sorcerers, and indeed barbaric warriors. This game, Barbaric, excuse me, lets you play such heroes, or more often anti-heroes. Put your sword arm and knowledge of eldritch secrets against ravaging bandits, scheming nobles, diabolic demons, mighty dragons, and ultimately the rotten and ugly face of moribund civilization itself. So pour your drinks, devour your pizza, turn up the volume of your favourite heavy metal album, and prepare to become Barbaric. Barbaric is a lightweight sword and sorcery rules set, perfect for convention games, one-off adventures, and many campaigns where easy to learn rules and fast play are preferred. So, we're going inside. Let's have a look. Table of contents. Great classic pose for a barbarian, complete with sword and horned helmet, and ridiculous chainmail bikini top. I'm not quite sure what else you would call that. Let's have a look. It's the introduction, and we get to the basic rules and characters. So this is a complete mini game in itself. I don't think you need the Sword Sorcery to play it. Here we've got an explanation of the rules. It's the classic Traveller rules. You're rolling 2d6, 2 6-sided dice, adding them up, and adding whatever attribute bonus you get plus any skills. Okay, and we have stats for non-humans too. There we go, details there. And again, I'm quite impressed by the artwork so far. It's a nice sort of like creepy image of something you might find in the underworld. We've got traits, and they give an advantage in play, like awareness, assassin, blind fighter, prophecy, sage, thief, and so on. And we've got combat moves. So this is this deviates a little bit from the standard 2d6 system. And we've also got hero points as well. So, excuse me, it goes even further away from what you would expect when playing Traveller. Basically, with the addition of hero points and combat maneuvers and so on, which come available with essentially certain skill levels. Equipment. Okay, general equipment, encumbrance, and of course, Sword and Sorcery wouldn't necessarily be Sword and Sorcery, but without dinosaurs, they perfectly fit in with a kind of pulp sensibility as well. Then we get on to combat. And we've got critical hit tables for slashing and crushing weapons there, emphasising essentially that that's kind of fine with the thrust and bash of the game, piercing critical hits as well. And then we get on to things like exploration, can know how to fight things first, then go looking. And sorcery, again, there's a bit of use of artwork from the Sword Sorcery, because that appears there as well. Okay, we've got a short list of spells, and nicely you've got a spell miscasting mishap table, and the spells themselves are really down to essentially one line, sorry, 1 or 2 lines, and on a D6 table. Classic monsters, again, given short details there. Really, for this kind of thing, you don't need a lot of detail. It's really kind of broad. You know, if you've got a flying ape, it's a flying ape. Embellish as you want. You don't need a lot of rules there. And then, of course, treasure, weapons, miscellaneous magic, the whole lot, and that's it really. So yeah, it's a mini a mini rule set, as they call it, for playing barbarians. So using the 2d6 system. Let's have a look. And essentially, you have there are 7 skills: combat, craft, law, physical, social, sorcery, and stealth. And you assign, after you've rolled your stats, you divide basically 5 points among the 7 skills, and pick a trade, and that's really that. It's as simple as that. So you know, if you're looking for something which kind of does swords and sorcery and isn't really an old school Renaissance retro clone, this might be well worth looking at. I would say it would have been nice, I think, if, you know, and I said this the same of the Sword of Cepheus. Well, you've got the rules set, but you don't really have a discussion of the genre. There's a certain assumption upon the part of the designer that you go, oh, you all know this. And I think it would have been nice if they put a scenario in there, something to showcase basically the game in play, and basically discuss the high points and the low points of the genre as well. But other than that, you know, you've got everything you need there, bar you know, the dice you need, and you get going and just find a scenario and away you go. So yeah, that's Barbaric from Stellagama Publishing. Basically a little mini RPG, not that mini, because you can go smaller with the micro ones, but yeah, for playing barbarians and shamans and sorcerers and the like. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed watching this unboxing in the Nook. If you have, please do click the like button down below. If you've got any comments or feedback, appreciate you posting those. And lastly, if you want to be alerted to yet more unboxings here in the Nook, then where you will see me with a package and a game, which I will talk about to the best extent of my knowledge for roughly 10 minutes or so. All, of course, accompanied by a cat who is not ours, and a nice hot cup of tea. Please do hit that subscribe button. In the meantime, thanks again for watching. I'll be back again soon with another unboxing in the Nook. Bye for now.